Today, we welcome Chief Growth Officer and President at Perfect Corp, Wayne Liu.
Hi, Christine. How are you?
Good. How are you doing today?
Pretty good.
This is very exciting. I mean, we spoke 2 years ago, and so much has happened since then for
Yeah.
you, for Perfect Corp. I finally get to put out there direct from you what's happening with Perfect Corp. So, what I'd like to do is start with your background. How do you find your background and your experience at a company such as NVIDIA helping you lead the company now? Obviously, it's a tech, but when you're dealing with retail, there's a bit of a nuance to it, let's say, to other industries.
Yeah, actually, I think that's a good question. And also looking at my background, it's also pretty diversified. I didn't really plan for that, but it just happened. I started with the engineering. I did the engineering, in the school. And I guess I generally I get curiosity. I'm very curious about lots of things. So engineering is a good start point. And then also getting into NVIDIA is really a good place where I can put what I learned from school and get into the action. But at some point in time, and NVIDIA is they're building the GPU. It's a building blocks for many, many things. As I said, my curiosity extended. I really want to know how and where and what people use the NVIDIA's technology. So I get into actually software. So because that's a good place to learn how people using the technology. And then I happen to work at the Cyberlink, which actually is the same company founded by Alice is our co-founder. So that's why I was there. I learned how the software works and also start with my business development, the career. So then that's how it started. I met Alice there, and then we get this perfect couple together. After a couple of years, we work in the Cyberlink.
Coming from hardware to software to solving a problem. And that's what you're doing today. Why was the flag planted as it was and going into beauty first?
Yeah, I think that's many places we can use our technology. But again, you need to find a place where people really need your technology. It's not something like a good to have. So actually about like 7 years ago, at that time, augmented reality is still relatively new to many people. But we see like if a people, especially the female, the customer, if they can try something, they can try something effortlessly. They can try digitally. They can try this makeup in the app, in the website, or in the store effortlessly. You don't need to like put the makeup and clean up and put it again. I believe, and we believe, there will be a huge opportunity. However, there's a challenge there because you are not doing something just like create a filter. You create something which is true to real. If I also always say that if you didn't make this augmented reality makeup real, it won't make up, it will make down. So you make people will try it and then they will left. So that's why I guess 7 years ago we do see the opportunity. If you can let people try, the more they try, the more they buy. And also we make the shopping experience. It's more like a fun, a playful experience. So that's how we started. And then we fortunately we have this technology who can do the augmented reality on very like we call the true to real, very realistically. So that's how we started. And then of course we test our market and then it become the part of the history.
So the components of success are first, the technology has to actually work and improve the experience.
Yes, improving the shopping experience because especially for the makeup, you have to try. Yeah, the only way you can try is that you see something, the real product, you go to the store and try it. But if you don't have that, and especially, at that time, the millennial Gen Z, everybody get into the mobile phone and people like to do digital things, right? So if you don't go to the store, how do you get the experience? So that's why the virtual try-on is really the one people can use.
So essentially it started the beauty kind of try unbox, try on, get ready with me started on YouTube. And then people wanted to immediately sort of test on their own selves, and they could use your technology at home, and they could also use it in the stores. But that was 7 years ago. That was 5 years ahead of the ultimate test, which of course was the pandemic, where everybody needed this digital technology to go from true to real,
Yeah.
or whatever that journey was. And I'm sure at that point it exponentially grew your reach.
Yes. Yes. Absolutely. Yeah.
I know we don't need to dwell in beauty. You've moved on from that because, as you said, there's many different applications for this.
Yeah, so beauty, that's where we started. We start with makeup. And then later, of course, some of our customers, they do have a hair. They say, can you try hair? So of course, hair actually is getting difficult because the hair, there's a very different, like a different texture, and also sometimes mixed with the background. But again, our R&D people, our engineer get this thing handled. So we get into the hair. And then once you get into hair, and our customers start asking, how about skin? Can you do something about skin? So that's how we start with the skincare. Skincare, the approach is very different because it's not really try on. It's a more like a diagnostic. So that's why we start getting to using AI, artificial intelligence, machine learning to learn how your skin look like and do recommendation. And then last year we are getting to, of course, just we call the fashion tech, which is accessory. That opened up definitely a new world for us. But again, some of our customer actually, especially some of these the big fashion house, they own both makeup and the fashion. So that's why lots of ask is driven by our customer. They post a challenge to you. So can you do this? And we said yes, let's try it, and then we make thing happen.
Yeah, I saw your discussion at South by Southwest this year where you talked about getting skincare into the technology. I would never guess that AI would actually contribute to improving a skincare journey. Can you tell us a little more about that?
Yeah, so that's why that's a gradual process. It's not like you get into AI and then you start suddenly magic thing happen. No, it's a series of hard work and understand how things work. Because first is you need to understand the skin. Understand skin is heavily related to the computer vision. You have to be able to read the skin right. Then after you read the skin, you need to have the knowledge to analyze it. But we are technology company. We don't really have the knowledge on the skin, all these skin, different type, with different concern. So that's why I think it's again important we work with our customer. Our customer trust us. For example, Estee Lauder company, and also we work with a company like a Neutrogena, Johnson& Johnson will build this trust, and they are willing to share some of their expertise and sort of guide us. We have the technology, they have the expertise. So we work together to build this skincare with all the expert system. So once you have the AI, the machine learning, then we start to expand it, expand it, expand. So when you find a system that works, you start to repeat that system. You get into the more we call concern, right? Initially, we only have a 4 concern. Right now, we can identify like a 16 different concern from your scheme. So I guess that's a process. In the past 3-4 years, we're just building this process.
You mentioned some of your clients, and are you white labeled with them? Are they identifying your company?
Yeah, so we are SaaS model, software as a service. So we create the core engine, for example, makeup try on. And then we push this engine into a different channel. For example, if a customer A they want to have the virtual trial in their website, so we can provide a API or provide a SDK for them to put into a website. They license our technology, and then on our technology, some of like the look and feel is customizable. So even the 2 different companies license the same technology, but when they present this to their customer, like their customers see different things because they can customize the AI, the UI and UX on top of our technology.
Right. I guess what I'm getting at is the accuracy of the experience for each of the different your customers B2B is better than others because they're using Perfect Corp. My question is, would the end user B2B to C say they use Perfect Corp? So I'm going to try on at that site because they know that you're the technology behind it. Is
Yeah,
there that level of awareness or not really? And that's
no,
not
I
really.
guess for the B2B business, we have a 2 type of business. One is a B2C, another one is B2B. For the B2B, actually we do license. So when Estee Lauder, the brand, right? If you go to Estee Lauder estee.com, you try the makeup, you really don't see us. You see our technology is working, but you see Estee Lauder's brand's DNA. You see that it's Estee Lauder. But if you go to like a NARS, even NARS and the Estee Lauder, they are using pretty much the same engine from us. The AR, the accuracy is pretty much the same. But when you go into a NARS, you see NARS's brand. And then if you go to the some of the retailer, right? So we work with the Ulta, right? So if you go to Ulta, you don't see us, you see the brand. So that's pretty much the B2B business. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess just to drive the point home is it's do you remember when Intel decided to put on everything powered by Intel? It was a chip and they did this campaign where they no longer wanted to be just kind of uh, behind the scenes. They pulled back the curtain. Even on, as you recall, on the laptops, it would say, I guess on Dell and HP.
Intel Inside.
Um, and I'm asking because the analogy is powered by Perfect Corp. You know that the try on experience will be excellent because it's powered by Perfect Corp. I think that this technology outside of you guys is, it's hit or miss. It's not always great, but if you know it's by Perfect Corp, you know it will be great. So you'll do it. So you'll
Yeah.
try it and you'll go there.
Yes.
We have some really great clients. Any others you can tell us?
Yeah, so we are continue to innovation. We will definitely have a lot of things to come in, and then of course this year start with all the fashion tech try on, and also we do an announcement on an NFT. So our NFT will be different from the so-called NFT. So that's something we will continue doing the innovation and also expand the partnership. Of course, not only for the brand but we also expand the partnership. So, for example, we work with the Google, Facebook, and Snap. So we want this experience, the virtual trial experience, to be more like a unified experience. So if you try this in the brand's website, it will be similar to try on the Instagram and or Google Snap.
I see. Yes, of course. I wanted to hear, and I checked out your NFTs and digitization of assets and metaverse. And I'm really eager to discuss that. So, what can you share?
Yeah, so for metaverse, we believe is the metaverse is really a natural evolution of the web technology, so-called Web 3, right? So because the Web 1 is a connect data, information, Web 2 connect people, and then Web 3 start connect location and many other things. Because as the platform, the technology getting very powerful, that particular web can accommodate more product into that. So we believe metaverse is something, it's not a hype, it's just a natural, it's an evolution, it's a trend. So having said that, what's important about Web3 is that we think the digital good and digital ownership is important. Right? So people get into metaverse, they not only just get there and play, but they can also own something. And NFT, because the uniqueness and then the ownership, that's really the ideal, or say the technology to be in the metaverse. So metaverse plus NFT, I guess it will be the next big trend. And then for our perspective, we think NFT, if NFT need to be sustained longer, I mean, get into the trend, it's not only just a piece of work, art can be collected. It has to be something can be used. We call the utility value, right? So if you just collect a NFT, I think that's fine. But at some point in time, people probably get a little bit tired about just collect NFT. So what we are having here is a try on. It's an NFT which you can carry, you can use. So for example, if you create a look, right? Makeup artist create a look, a very beautiful look, it's an art, it's a work of art. So you can collect it. How about you can actually enable it? You can try it with you. And then at some point in time, if you want to play game in the metaverse, you can wear in that with you. So that's what we are talking about, the so-called wearable or utility type of the NFT. Or for example, if you are a luxury brand, so you have a jewelry like an earring, and people can purchase that earring in the store and then imagine that if people can purchase exact the same thing, true to real, exact the same the digital goods in the metaverse as an NFT, and they can carry that, right? Just like you go to shopping, right? You carry a bag, you carry a jewelry, same thing. If you can carry that you can wear that virtual jewelry when you're in the metaverse, right? So it's going to be a very different experience. So that's why we are heading to. We try to create not only just NFT, but the NFT which can be used, can be carried, can be wear.
Right. Now, is this your own, like, how do I want to say it, platform? Or are you also having that be available to the brands as well? So if they
Yes.
want to have you build it for them, you are including that. It's an option.
So for now, the technology actually is a platform agnostic. It means if a brand A, if they have a preferred platform, we can create this one in their preferred platform. Right now, the first try we did is on the OpenSea because it's one of the most popular one. So yeah, because the technology is kind of like a neutral, we can create this one in the brand's website, or we can create this NFT in the different platform.
So let's talk about the interchangeability of Web3, metaverse, NFT, and then, of course, blockchain. They're all the infrastructure or the different ways of ownership and participation, socialization in Web3. So if NFT is thing, metaverse to me is place. What about metaverse?
Yeah, so that's interesting because when we look at the metaverse, actually it's very simple. We see this as a three layer. Very first one is called the portal layer. It's where the company build up the metaverse, which is the place. A company like Decentraland, right? The Roblox, they build out verse, they build a universe. And then also another we call technology level, which the company probably like Nvidia, and this company they provide a very fundamental infrastructure to sustain the metaverse. So in between, we call the technology level. That's where the company like us, we provide the thing for people they can bring into the metaverse, they can play, or maybe some kind of a hardware. But we are not doing the hardware. But that in that layer, the technology company provide the components and essential things for people can be, play or carry in the metaverse. So that's why we define ourselves at that layer, which is in the middle. Same thing as Web 2, right? So we are not building the e-commerce side. We are not building the cloud infrastructure. We are the one who provide the virtual try-on for people can enjoy experience in the Web 2. So basically, we still, it's the same strategy. We are not building the infrastructure. We are not building the universe. We are the one to provide the technology, the thing for you to be able to enable you in the metaverse.
Are you sort of going to position yourself as an available vendor and source for creating these things? Because there's a lot
Yes.
of people building places, and basically you would be one of the people building things.
So if the player in the metaverse, they become a creator, they need to have some kind of shop for them to build something, right? So then they can come to potentially, we are not there yet, but potentially they can come to Perfect Corp and trying to build something, and then they can carry in the metaverse. So that's something we are actually looking at. We also work with some of the partner in the very early stage to make sure the technology works, and that's something they are looking at. The wearable NFT is ready because we announced publicly, so that one is ready, so you can
Yeah.
purchase. Yeah.
But being able for a creator to go to you to be interactive and building on your with you is not ready yet. You can buy finished
Yeah.
goods. You can buy finished goods, right?
Yes.
Got it. Sounds great. And you must think it's going to be big because your core business, basically extrapolating from your core business, and your core business is growing like crazy and you have tons of growth there. As you said, you're getting into fashion as well.
Yeah, so fashion is, I'll say that's a very natural extension of the beauty. However, technology-wise, it's very different. For example, for the beauty, it's pretty much we call shoulder and above is a head, and then to recognize, to do facial recognition or kind of thing, it's not easy. But at least your face, you do have that we call the feature point, the landmark. You have eyes, you have an eyebrow for you for the engine to recognize it and then to analyze it. However, once you get into the fashion, for example, you get into the hands, It's not something like a feature point or landmark. So you have to use a very different technology. What we are using here, we call physical based rendering. It's pretty much we treat the hands as a reflection, the reflection object. And we analyze all the light movement and all the lighting reflection to trace the hands. So basically, that's a very different technology, but we just announced that we have this called the AGI hands. So basically, that's a technology which we can trace the hands. Then we can put lots of different application, for example, watches, bracelets, even the nail. So that's why, you know.
This was a very needed thing because of COVID, which only added fuel to the fire, because if you're good at it, it will continue to grow and be needed. What is your opinion on that, on the growth of it?
Yeah, beauty is a big market. Beauty is big market. However, beauty is also makeup and skincare. As I said, that they consider beauty, but they are very different. For the makeup, also pretty much work with all the big brand already that they have a pretty significant market share. We also work with some of the indie brand, so we will continue getting to that. And then for the makeup try on, right now is it become a must. It become a must for the beauty company. We just talked to some of the executive from the beauty company. They says if you don't have a virtual try-on, you are not in the beauty business. So I guess that's really good for us. That become an essential part. So that one will continue working on that. And also just beside virtual try-on, we are adding to new components. For example, we do the AI face recognition. I mean, the analyze it. We not only give you try, we try to give you a recommendation, like what's the best look for you. We act more like a makeup artist, and then based on that concept, we also we just announced we have this UCAM tutorial, which is not only just for you to try on, but teach you virtually how can you create that look. So yeah, we announced that, and also you will see a couple of brand is going to launch this later this year. Okay, so teach customer virtually like where you should put what, and then use which brushes, right? So just to recreate that look. So that's adding that's help us to we call the upsell our technology, because if you do virtual trial, you already have a virtual trial. What's the next? And also for the skincare, as I said, huge market, probably it's three times larger than the color makeup. But their market is a different, because it's different segment. They have a brand, they have a pharmaceutical brand, which they use in the more like a medic field. And then you also have like a medical spa, salon owner, dermatologist. They also potentially can be a customer. So that we need to see the skincare market a little bit different from the makeup. But yeah, as I said, in general, beauty is a huge market, and plus, right now this fashion is. We start with so-called jewelry, watch, eyewear. So we start with that, and we'll see. Yeah, collectively, big market. Yeah, but we just need to get the product right, and then get a good customer experience.
How much of your business is B2B versus B2C? How
Yeah,
much?
so roughly revenue-wise, it's about, I would say, 70% is on the B2B and 30% is on the B2C.
And are you interested in growing the B2C side?
I think the focus is on the B2B. I'll say that, the investment and everything. And then B2C is still, because we have a pretty big platform, which is a UK makeup, we'll make sure we take good care of our B2C customer. That experience is different. They get into the UK makeup app. They are trying to, get some fun experience. So we'll continue doing that. But in general, the focus is on the B2B side. We'll continue to grow the B2B.
And I think it's amazing, and I congratulate you.
Thank you. In the past, especially past 3 years, we get this so-called flywheel rolling
Yeah,
gradually. Right now, it has the momentum.
yeah,
So
that's great. Well, I'm very happy for you, and I'm so
thank
happy.
you. Thank you for your trust and support, right? You always support us.
Big cheerleader from the side.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah. So
Yeah.
it's been a pleasure to be in this journey. Thank you. It's great.
All right.
Okay.
Thanks so
Thank you.
much.
You're
Bye, Wayne.
welcome.
Bye.
Bye.